Is your GTA-based manufacturing business feeling the 2026 tariff trap squeeze? Between rising steel and aluminum costs and local gridlock on our streets, many shops in the GTA are facing a brutal 8% margin decline. In this video, we break down why this financial strain isn't your fault and how a BIA restructuring proposal can act as a strategic lifeline, not a surrender. What you'll learn in this video: the tariff trap, how 2026 trade uncertainties are gutting profit margins; BIA proposal versus bankruptcy; why restructuring is the smart move to keep your doors open and keep your assets; director protection, how to avoid personal liability for unpaid wages and HST; local impact, why GTA's infrastructure is a hidden cost on your P&L. Don't wait for the bank to act against you. Secure your business's future today. I am treated with the utmost respect and get the best professional advice possible. You will always deal with a trustee, not an assistant or a clerk. If you or your business are experiencing debt problems, call us today for a no-cost consultation. I hope you can watch until the end of this video and you find the information helpful.
Today, we're digging into a perfect storm that's gathering right over Vaughan's manufacturing sector. We're talking about a serious financial squeeze that's really going to hit in 2026, and it's being driven by forces way outside of your control. Think of this less as just an analysis and more like a survival guide. So, if you're running a business, maybe a shop in Concord or somewhere near the VMC, you're really going to want to lean in for this. Honestly, what we're about to cover could be the most important piece of strategy you hear all year. And maybe you're already feeling it, that invisible vice grip that's just tightening and tightening around your cash flow, around your profit margins. If that sounds familiar, you need to know two things. First, you are absolutely not alone. And second, this is almost certainly not your fault. We're seeing really well-run, solid companies being pushed right to the edge. Okay, let's get right to the heart of the issue. We're calling it the 2026 Tariff Trap, and it's this nasty mix of global trade problems and local headaches that are making it almost impossible to run a business like you normally would. So what does this actually look like on your financial statements? Well, you're not going to see a line item for this, but the reality is U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum are essentially carving out 8% or even more right off the top of your profits. And for a lot of businesses, that 8% is everything. It's the entire difference between being in the black and being in the red. And here's exactly how that trap slams shut. First, you're locked into old pricing with your clients, deals you made maybe a year ago. But then, boom, because of these tariffs, your raw material costs, we're talking steel, aluminum, they suddenly leap up by 25, maybe even 50%. And the result? You're now legally forced to send out products at a loss. Every single truck that leaves your shipping bay is strangling your cash flow just that little bit more. And if that wasn't enough, there's the upcoming CUSMA trade deal review in 2026 that's just adding fuel to the fire. You see, the future of trade in North America is up in the air. And if there's one thing banks absolutely hate, it's uncertainty. So what are they doing? They're tightening up on credit, making it incredibly hard to get that bridge loan you might need to just survive the cost spike. You are well and truly trapped. But look, this isn't just some abstract global trade issue. The pressure is also coming from right outside your front door. Local infrastructure problems are just piling on, making the financial strain that much worse. And this quote right here from Brandon Smith of Iris Smith Trustee and Receiver Inc., it just hits home, doesn't it? This isn't some economic theory in a textbook. It's the daily reality of gridlock in Vaughan. And it has a real direct cost that you can measure. Yeah, every minute your trucks are just sitting there idling in traffic on Rutherford or on the 400, that translates directly to your bottom line. You're burning way more fuel. You're paying more in wages and overtime. Your whole capacity is bottlenecked. You're risking penalties for late deliveries, and you have to tie up more of your precious cash in inventory just to compensate. You're literally being crushed from both sides. Okay, we need to talk about this next part because this is where things get intensely personal. When a company is in a crisis like this, the fight isn't just about saving the business. It's about protecting yourself and your family from financial disaster. The stakes are about to get a whole lot higher. We have to talk about something called an OBR silent dissolution. Look, when you're busy fighting fires every day, it's easy to let simple paperwork like your annual corporate returns just slip. But if you fail to file, the Ontario Business Registry can just automatically dissolve your company. And the scariest part, it often happens without you even knowing it. And this slide lays out the consequence perfectly. That dissolution, it causes what's called the corporate veil. That's the legal shield that separates your business debts from your personal finances to just evaporate. It's gone. And all of a sudden, creditors aren't just coming for the company's equipment. They are coming for your house, your retirement savings, your investments, everything. And to be specific, you as a director can be held personally liable for a lot. Up to 6 months of unpaid wages for your employees, a full year of their vacation pay, and this is the big one, any unremitted HST or payroll deductions. The CRA holds directors personally responsible for that money, and trust me, they are absolutely relentless when it comes to collecting. Now, I know this all sounds incredibly dire, but there is a powerful, strategic way out of this. It's time to start thinking about insolvency differently, not as a failure, but as a legal lifeline that was designed for exactly these kinds of impossible situations. So let's be crystal clear about something. A Division I proposal under the Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act, the BIA, is not bankruptcy. It's the opposite. Bankruptcy is liquidation. It's the end. A proposal is a restructuring tool. It's a legal shield designed to fix the business and keep your doors open. Here's the process, and it's pretty powerful. The second you file, something called a stay of proceedings kicks in automatically. It's basically a legal wall that stops all creditor lawsuits and collection calls cold. This buys you 30 days or more of breathing room to figure out a plan. And here's the absolute game changer. You get the legal power to repudiate, which is a legal term for cancel, those toxic, money-losing supply contracts that are bleeding you dry. Just look at this comparison. It makes the choice so clear. With bankruptcy, the business is gone. CCIA, well, that's for giant corporations, and it costs a fortune. But for a mid-market manufacturer in Vaughan, the BIA proposal is by far the best tool. You stay in control, you keep your assets, and you actually rehabilitate the business for the future. So what is your path forward from here, right? How do you go from being on defense to getting back on offense and actually building some resilience against all these pressures? Well, it really all boils down to one single thing. Early, decisive action. Right now, time is your most valuable asset. The longer you wait just hoping things will turn around on their own, the fewer options you have left. The very first, most critical step is to get an expert assessment from a licensed insolvency trustee. And like Brandon Smith says here, you do not have to let this tariff trap define your company's future. There is a strategic playbook. There is a way to get out of this trap safely, to protect your business, and most importantly, to protect your personal assets. So that leaves us with this one last question. The squeeze on Vaughan's manufacturers is real. It is severe. Understanding the problem is the first step, and you've done that. But the next one, that's up to you. Will you wait for that trap to fully close, or will you act